drinking whiskey and rye, saying soon they're gonna be some Jedis.
I like how you combine both.
Soon they're gonna be some Jedis.
Probably the best Weird Al song, would you say?
Would you write the book of love and something you're so proud of, and I told you so.
You were so close. I was like, wow, does he actually know the words? And the Book of Love is definitely in
a word,
something
yeah,
that
it's
I
definitely
would not have expected you to know from that song. But I don't know what else is in there.
The day the music died.
I want to give a quick heads up to folks. If they're listening and they hear a bunch of background noise, there was a water main break in the studio. Yeah. And there's a bunch of fans going around. So
investigation is ongoing. We are looking into the culprit of the water main break.
Yeah.
To me personally, I don't think it doesn't look like an accident. I think there's foul play involved.
Who's your number one suspect?
Probably either Joe Rogan or the Kelsey brothers.
Both of them?
Yeah. What's their podcast called?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Doing time.
Brother
Kelsey
Bear.
Brother Bear.
Yeah.
It's called Tell Everybody I'm on My Way.
Tell everybody I'm on my way.
I was listening
because
to
the music died.
I was listening to Phil Collins' Disney song on my way over today, actually. It's one
what
from
song?
One from Tarzan, Son of Man.
Let's get down to business.
No, he didn't do that
Let's
one.
get down to
and
business.
And that's also from Mulan.
Yeah, I know.
I said Tarzan.
No, I heard what you said.
Oh, you just chose to not listen
and
ignore it. That's cool, dude.
Are
you looking up the words to American Pie?
Yeah.
Chevy. Took my Chevy to the levee, but the
if
levee
you
was
write
dry.
the book of love, and if you have faith in God above,
all right, got it.
if the Bible tells you so.
All right, a lot more religious than people remember.
Now do you believe in rock and roll?
Oh yeah, now
the
we're
music
onto something.
Save your mortal soul.
Jesus,
too much rasp. I went too raspy.
Too much of the music. I'm choking on the music.
Music's about to die right here, brother. Live on air.
Suffocating on the music.
Andy. Yeah. The podcast community does not want to see me record on Saturday mornings. I'll tell you that right now. The level of energy that's still in my body while I'm speaking right now
is dangerous.
Which could leave quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good for 3 to 4 solid minutes a day of high energy action. But I'm usually already out of my 3 to 4 minutes when I'm recording. So I would probably anticipate by the time this episode's ends, we're top 3 podcasts in the world, and yeah,
and that's the way it'll go.
Yeah, and then we'll have a falling out. Yeah, you'll try to do one in the cooler for a little bit. It won't work.
Not even.
I'll do a one-time limited podcast episode that talks about our story and what went wrong.
Right. A tell-all podcast.
And then in 20 or 30 years, we'll do a reunion live show at, I don't know, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that could be good.
Yeah. They'll sell it out. We'll come in. We'll be old. Which, speaking of, did you watch the fight last night?
No, I didn't even know it was last night. This is the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight.
Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah. And Jake Paul won.
Well, there was really no winners.
I believe that.
Yeah.
You watched it? You saw it?
Yeah. I'll tell you. Because it was on Netflix. So it was the first ever like live sporting event on Netflix, which we're going to talk about this to start. Netflix is down bad this morning.
Uh-oh.
It went horribly. Like the broadcast itself and stuff, when it was working, I thought was fine. Like I thought they were good. But it didn't work for like anybody. Like it kept kicking everybody off. Like you'd get like 20 seconds of fight and then it would kick you back off and then it would say like network issues and like everybody knew it wasn't their network, you know what I mean? And then
you'd
Netflix
servers.
Reboot it and then you'd get back in, but it'd be like there was one point in the fight where like the fight was like already halfway through the second round and my TV was still stuck on like spinning at 25% and the fight hadn't even started, going back and forth. Eventually I got in and I watched like rounds 4 through 3.5 through 8 like seamlessly. But I don't know. It was this professional. I don't know anything about boxing, but it was a legally sanctioned fight by the boxing folks. But it was 8 rounds, 2 minutes a round, which I thought seemed weird.
I don't know. I don't know what they normally.
Yeah,
are.
I was looking. I figured there would be 10 to 12 rounds. I don't know. I'll tell you what though. Like I sent a text to my buddies halfway through, and I felt bad for Mike Tyson. Man, he just looks so old.
He is old.
No, I know he's 58 years old.
That's crazy.
57 years old or something like that. And it's crazy that I can't remember how old he is because they said it 10,000 times. But he's somewhere in the 57 to 58 range. Like there was a few times where Jake Paul wasn't really didn't really land like a good punch, but Mike would kind of wobble backwards, and the announcers would be like, "He's hurt. That punch hurt him." And I'd be like, "No, I think he's just having trouble standing up. Like I don't think it has anything to do with the punches."
No, I think it's actually osteoporosis.
Yeah, and like Jake Paul, I don't know. Let's say like Jake Paul was throwing a lot of punches. Dude, the one round Mike Tyson threw like 6 punches and landed like 2 of them the entire round. Like he was a lot of like that, like not actually punching. And then towards the end of each round, he would get like a little bit of life back in him. He'd get like happy feet real quick, but he would not throw a single punch. I think I saw him land 1 punch in the entire fight.
Huh. That's interesting.
It sucked. It was a horrible watch. Like it was just boring as shit. Like you would have rather. I didn't really want to see him to get knocked out because, again, like I would have felt so bad.
Watching an old man.
Yeah, getting his face punched. But, like, he really didn't. Like, I don't know. A lot of people are saying Dave Portnoy had a great tweet, actually. Like that, I think, kind of sums it up pretty well. Let's see if I can find it.
Said I've
here.
seen rougher stuff in a marshmallow factory.
Dude, I wish somebody would have said that. Credit to Jake Paul and Mike Tyson for pulling off one of the greatest cons of the century. I should have put $10 million on Jake, not because he's good, but because he fought a senior citizen. I would say everybody involved should be ashamed, but I'd take the money too if I could. I heard Jake Paul got paid $40 million.
$40 million?
That's what I heard.
That's so much money. That's $40 million. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
$40 million? That's like $40 million.
Yeah, that's like $100 million. Yeah, $40 million. That's like $100 million.
That is, I mean, you think this is finally going to put the nail in the coffin then of these like weird celebrity boxing matches then?
No, because like that's the problem. We're all stupid. Like it's our fault. It's 100% our fault. Because we're like, fuck, dude, how sick would it be to see Mike Tyson back in the ring? Imagine if he knocks his ass out.
I mean, that
you
is
know what
cool.
I mean?
The idea of
and
that
then
is
we
cool,
and then we see it and we're like, dude, this was a horrible idea. This dude
Yeah.
can't even move.
Why
He had a knee brace on, and like it wasn't a big knee. It was like one of those. He had a copper tone on, or what are they called?
Yeah, copper tone.
Yeah, he was rocking a copper tone.
That's hilarious.
No, that's the sunscreen, isn't it?
Oh shit! It might be.
I
That's.
gotta look it up.
I should know. You'd think I'd be the expert
Yeah.
as the resident sunscreen expert, but it's definitely copper something. I remember the Brett Favre commercials from after he showed his wiener.
Oh, copper fit.
Copper fit.
Yeah, he was rocking a copper fit, and like I'll tell you what, it was working. The copper fit should have been getting paid $40 million. The amount of support it was providing Mike Tyson, just on the right knee, one copper fit.
I mean, all the videos. Looking back now, of course, hindsight 2020. They would only put out ones that make him look good, but he's putting out videos of his training.
I know
where
he
was
looked like he was really
pow,
dude.
pow,
Like
pow.
he did not throw a single punch that looked anything like what he did in the training video. So
That's
a lot of
interesting.
people are like, the fix is in, cancel Netflix. There's a lot of.
Well, I mean, Netflix maybe didn't even have a part of it. Maybe Mike Tyson, I mean, look, he's an old guy. Do you have any idea how much he got paid?
No, I was gonna look it up.
Yeah, let's see. Because hopefully it was. I mean, I'm sure it was a lot. But luckily, he seems to have a lot of things going. Did you ever watch his cartoon?
No.
It was called Mike Tyson Mystery Team. It was on Adult Swim, and it was pretty damn funny. It was him, and his mystery gang was Ghost, played by the guy who's the dean in Community. whose name I can't remember all of a sudden, a pigeon played by Norm Macdonald, and some young Asian girl, and they would go around like solving mysteries. And Mike Tyson like did his own voice and stuff. It was pretty funny. And he's got his weed company, which is of course doing numbers. And he's got his own podcast, which I think is the one he's still doing, Hotbox or whatever. Maybe he's doing a different one now, but so he's got shit going on.
Sounds like about 20. So
Damn.
Tyson got 20, Jake Paul got 40.
That's still pretty good. That's a pretty good payday. 20 million. That's like $50 million.
20 million, that's like a 60, 70 million dollars. Yeah. I didn't know he filed for bankruptcy back in 2013, but his net worth is estimated to be about $10 million.
Well, net worth.
Yeah, net worth
nothing.
fugazi.
I don't know why we're all still like
Looking at net worth.
I don't know. Why those are all even still stats.
Because my boy's got net worth.
Your network is your net worth. Ian, shout out to Ian.
Who's
Ian?
Ian?
The Ear. Ian the Ear. Ian Robinson, our cousin who's been on the podcast.
Oh,
Yep.
network is your net worth. That's
Yeah.
it. That's his line.
That's a direct quote from him. I'm pretty sure is the only person who's ever said it.
On our show.
Yeah, he said it on our show
I
at
don't
least
remember.
once or twice.
It's all a blur. Shout out to Ian.
You know, yeah, for the first 2.5 years, I was, mostly on methed out for those episodes, so I really it's
Yeah,
hard
you
to
do
tell.
be doing that. But before I watched the fight last night, I actually did two things last night. I'll give you a little personal insight into what I did last night. I had my girlfriend's father and stepmother over for dinner last night, and I cooked the whole thing.
Whoa.
So I made some roasted rosemary garlic potatoes.
Excellent. Always a fan favorite.
Yeah, the cubed.
Yeah.
I think they turned out fantastic. Maybe could have used a little more salt, but the seasoning was there. I made blanched green beans. You ever blanched a green bean?
I don't think I've ever blanched a thing in my life.
They're
Unless
like
we're talking golden
cooked
girls.
and not cooked. They're like cooked, but they're not soggy. You know,
They're like the vampires of green beans.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just put it? You got to put it in context
Vampire
that I
beans.
understand.
Yeah, I made vampire beans, and they had little butter, salt, pepper, garlic powder, a little squeeze of lemon on there.
Whoa.
I meant to throw the slivered almonds in there too, and I had them out and I forgot to put them in there, and they were already on the table, and I was like, fuck it, nobody's getting almonds
You
today.
forgot the slivs?
Forgot the slivies.
That's crazy.
And then I made cutlets.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I think it turned out pretty well. I was nervous because her father doesn't eat things that he doesn't like.
Okay, so it runs in the family.
Yeah. Like if he doesn't like it, he's just like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm not eating it."
Yeah.
And he cleaned his plate. Yeah, clean plate club last night.
Let me
and
ask you this: did the breading stick to your cutlets just fine?
oh yeah, I make a pretty mean cutlet.
I make cutlets that are delicious, but the breading I can't get it to stick quite right. So what am I doing wrong? Let me tell you what I do, and you tell me where I'm going wrong. Cutlet, flour, egg wash, breadcrumbs. What's
Okay.
the problem?
Well, there's a few different theories here. A lot of people have gone away from flour. They'll just do egg wash, breadcrumb. That's not me personally. I think the flour adds a lot to it. But I'll tell you something that you got to do. You go flour, egg, breadcrumb.
That makes sense.
You double dip.
You double dip in the egg.
You double dip in the flour, egg.
Lather,
So you
rinse,
go
repeat.
flour, egg wash, breadcrumb.
Okay.
And then what I do, so I do a few different things. Like, do you wear gloves? Do you wear cooking gloves?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, see, I wear cooking gloves when I'm handling
It's a good idea.
meats and stuff like that. So you got to have a nice big bread, like the tray that you're using for the breadcrumbs has to be
Oh,
sizable.
this I don't need any advice on. This I am well
but
aware
how
of.
are you really pushing it down in the breadcrumbs?
I'm not pushing it down super
So
hard.
I'm laying it in, putting it on one side, laying it in, putting it on the other, and then I pick it up with the dry hand. I give it a little shake, and then I'm pushing it down into the breadcrumbs, and I'm flipping it, pushing it down into the breadcrumbs, and then I'm letting it sit. and then I'm letting it sit for a little bit. Like, so I make all my cutlets, and then I'll let them sit for 10, 15 minutes, breaded. And then very little oil in the pan. Like, you're barely.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing I wasn't happy about was I went to Tops, local grocery store, after work. So I buy my stuff, and to pick up the chicken because I hadn't bought the chicken yet, and it was 5:15 on a Friday, and they didn't have the chicken that I wanted. I like to buy like the full breasts, and I'll trim them myself and make them into cutlets myself, and then I'll pound them out. They didn't have them, so I had to get like what they already consider like their cutlets.
Which that's what I get.
Yeah, but those aren't thin enough.
You know what? I get the Wegmans ones. The Wegmans
They're
ones
real
are
thin.
Yeah.
How thin are we talking?
They're pretty damn thin. They might not be thin enough for you, but
dude, I think
I
a
like
cutlet
my
should be
chicken cutlets like I like my women.
Yeah, not too thin.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, and I pounded them out still. They weren't quite as thin as I would have liked, but they were actually delicious. Like, and they cooked really well.
I should have said dark meat when you did that. My brain.
Yeah, that's all right.
totally off.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Saturday
take that
morning,
back?
rain is falling.
You just say that with any day of the week.
Yeah, and it's not even raining today.
Not yet.
I had something else though. Oh, and so then what I did, then I played, my regular 12 races of Mario Kart before settling in.
Yeah. A baker's dozen. A Mario Kart
no,
dozen.
that would be 13.
Whatever.
And then I did. Then I watched.
Plumber's dozen.
I watched.
Plumber's dozen. Name of the episode.
And then I watched the rest of Outer Banks.
What is it,
season 4. So they did the classic season 4, episode 1 through 5. Wait like 3 weeks, and then 5 through 10.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I had watched 5, 6, 7, or I'd watched 6, 7, 8, and I started 9, but I hadn't finished it, so I watched the end of 9 and watched the finale. Spoiler alert incoming for Outer Banks.
Nobody cares.
Everybody cares.
Not a single person.
I don't know. I didn't love the way it ended. I mean, there was like a big wow moment.
I mean, this doesn't sound like a spoiler alert.
Oh, I'm gonna spoil it.
Oh, okay. Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna spoil it.
Yeah. JJ dies. He gets
What?
murdered by his dad. This is a huge spoiler. Like, this is like if you haven't watched all, like, if you've only watched like some of season 4, like, I just ruined the whole fucking show for you. So it turns out his dad wasn't his real dad. We think.
Good Lord.
And then we find his real dad, and then he gets murdered by his real dad in like.
Wait, so the new real dad that we haven't met before is the
Well, we
murderer?
meet him in season 4.
Oh, okay.
Like, we meet him in the season. So what happens is, yeah. So JJ's real father then does murder him.
Damn. That's
But it's kind of his tricky father-son relationship there.
It
because
always is.
the dad tries to murder
and the
JJ.
Cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, a little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but I'm gonna kill you then.
Yeah, something like that. So the dad
And
tries
I'm
to
gonna
murder
eat your
JJ.
skin.
That was too far. The dad tries to murder JJ earlier in the season.
That's hilarious.
Stabs him
like
and
he
then
tries to drop an anvil on him, but he gets like called over at the last
stabs
minute.
him and then throws him in the middle of the ocean, but he gets rescued. And then this guy Rafe tries to kill JJ's dad, not knowing that it's JJ's dad, because they end up in like Morocco, or they're somewhere in like Egypt or something like that.
Jesus Christ, they're a long way from the Outer Banks.
Yeah.
Outer Banks season 4, Out of the Banks.
Yeah. They've been out of the banks since season 1.
Go back to the banks.
Well, that's Andy. They did.
Is that what season 5 is going to be?
No, they finally got back to the banks. They built a business, and they were doing it successfully. And then the kooks, as they call them, the rich people of Kildare Island, made a new zoning thing that was going to force them out of the land, and then they were going to lose their thing. So then they got back in the G game, the gold game.
Okay.
And Yeah, that led them to somewhere. And so then this guy Rafe tries to kill JJ's biological father, drops him in a well in the middle of like wherever they are, and then of course JJ and friends stumble upon the well, and JJ's dad's like, you gotta Groff's like, you gotta get me out of here, JJ, I'm your father. And he's like, yeah, you tried to kill me. So he leaves him, but he throws him a bottle of water, like, here you go, because the well's dry. And then and then Groff gets out of the well, and then he's like, shouldn't have left me in the well. Stab, twist, like really murders him.
Yeah, knows this is not his first time.
Yeah. Oh no, he killed people. He was killing people all season long. And then so they lose the artifact. They were treasure hunting for the blue crown that used to be Blackbeard's.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Blackbeard the pirate.
Oh, not the other Blackbeard,
no.
not Dr. Blackbeard,
No.
my podiatrist.
So Groff makes off with the crown. JJ dies, and they're just in Morocco or whatever. They're still wanted fugitives. That's the other thing. They're wanted fugitives back in Outer Banks. Because they're this is my one problem with that show is they're very much like everybody takes from us, everybody always blames us, everybody's out to get us, but all they do the entire time is just break the law and like kill people. There's always a split second where they have a decision to make, like, should we like trust the justice system or should we not, early in the season, and they never fucking trust it, and then they get pissed that like,
listen, dude, like, they're just mavericks, okay? And when you're a maverick, you're all about going rogue. You got to go rogue to stay a maverick, okay? You can't ask water not to be wet. You can't ask a maverick not to go rogue.
Well, I get that they're like, if we like, because that's their whole thing is like the kooks, the rich folk are always taken from them.
Mm-hmm.
The kooks are taken from the pogues. That's the basis of the show.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I don't think you're allowed to say any of that.
What do you mean? That's terminology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your fucking feet away from me. I don't care.
I'm spreading.
Spread away.
Yeah. So yeah, I wasn't super pumped with the way season 4 ended. That was where I was going with that.
Well,
and that worked on Netflix. It was just the Jake Paul fight that didn't work.
Yeah, that stinks. Because
Netflix is
just big for him. I feel like
Netflix is having Netflix has an NFL game this year, I think.
Really?
And like, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it could be tough.
You know, though, I do think there's probably a lot of people that were tuning into that fight.
It sounds like it, of course, if their servers were having that kind of problem, you know. Bring you back to the old Xbox Live days.
Yeah,
whatever.
Christmas Day NFL game on Netflix.
For me, Christmas Day, because Thanksgiving, for me, Thanksgiving is for the NFL. Christmas Day is for the NBA.
Nah.
That's what that's how I feel, and that's what I'm going for. There were a couple of Christmas Day games back in the day that were so great. When the Clippers, back in the Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Chris Paul era, they would go up against the Warriors like right before the Warriors got like right at the beginning of that dynasty, the Steph Curry dynasty and everything, and they would get chippy, man. I mean, it was like watching some of those games. I was watching like games back in the day. I mean, people were throwing bows. People were getting so mad at each other.
Jesus,
and that's
was
what
out
Christmas.
the window.
That's what Christmas was all about, you know.
Violence. Yep.
Yeah, violence. It's true.
Listen, brother. That's one thing that we can settle on and agree with. That Christmas is for violence.
Christmas is for violence. Think about all the war stories about Christmas.
Yeah. What's that Christmas song about war?
The Snoopy Red Baron song?
No.
Oh.
The one that's
Little
like,
Drummer Boy?
No. Ooh. The one that's like bombs are falling.
Sunday morning, bombs are falling. I think it might be the Snoopy.
No.
The bombs are falling. Whatever it is, it's definitely British. That's some British ass Christmas stuff.
Dude, what is it? It's like, dude.
Oh my God. You know, I always feel bad on this podcast whenever I have one of my Celsius burps. I just had a crazy Tim Hortons hot chocolate burp, and I threw up in my mouth a little bit. It was gross.
There's a Weird Al Yankovic song, "Christmas at Ground Zero." Never heard that.
What?
There's a song, dude. This is gonna drive me fucking nuts.
Okay, that's
There's a
fine, but you're
Christmas
skipping
song.
over Weird Al did a 9/11 Christmas song?
I don't know. Let's find out. Starbucks ad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if this was the song Weird Al parodied for his 9/11 click. Hold on.
14 years
The
ago, too.
plane's coming. What was 2010?
Can we play this legally?
No. Well, I mean, we got at least 15 seconds of it, though. Weird Al Christmas. Definitely sounds like a Christmas tune.
It is, but it's not about 9/11. It's about a nuclear bomb. Atomic bomb.
Oh, okay.
I'm all right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Dude, I got it. The Christmas song about bombs falling. Somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. I can hear it in my head.
Well, then sing it
It's very- I
aloud for all
can't-
to
I
hear,
can't.
brother.
And the bombs of your boys and girls or something.
And the boys... Is it Bruce Springsteen tune?
Yeah.
And the boys and girls on the boardwalk are getting bombed tonight. 'Cause this is New York City, and we do Christmas right. It's a Bruce Springsteen Christmas on the turnpike. All right, this was not my best fake song. This doesn't sound like it. Dominic the Donkey? This one? Let's
Maybe.
hope it's a good one. Something da-na-na. A so happy Christmas for black and for white. Christmas
Trying to
is
find the lyrics here.
Christmas.
So, there's one in
Let me ask you a question, Matthew. Do you think
No,
that
no,
every
bombs
holiday
and
should
stuff.
have songs?
Oh, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley. Oh, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley. There was a tree, and in that tree there was a very special tree. Tree in a hole, and a hole in a bog down in the valley. Oh, the rattling bog. That's how it goes. You don't know the lyrics to Rattling Bog?
No, well, I mean, I know the rattling bog part. If the bog's a rattling, don't come knocking.
Well, in the bog there was a hole, a rare hole, a rattling hole,
The
and the
tune-
hole in the bog,
the
and the bog, and the hole in the... Wait. I'll get it. Ho, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Real bog, the rattling bog,
Real
the bog down in the valley, oh. Well, in the bog there was a hole, a rare hole, a rattling hole, and the hole in the bog, and the bog, and the hole in the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Real bog, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Well, in the hole there was a tree, a rare tree, a rattling tree, and a tree in the hole, and the hole in the bog, and the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. And on that tree there was a branch, a rare branch, a rattling
My
branch,
God, you're doing
branch
the
in
whole
the tree, and a tree, and a hole in the bog, and the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, it goes further.
I
On that
believe
branch
you,
there
I
was a
believe
limb,
you.
a rare limb, a rattling limb, and a limb, and a branch, and a branch, and a tree, and a tree, and a hole, and a hole, and a bog, and a bog down in the valley, oh.
And that's
Well,
the
on
end
that
of the
limb there was a
song.
nest, a rare nest, a rattling nest, and a nest, and a limb, and a branch, and a branch, and a tree, and a tree, and a hole, and a hole, and a bog down in the valley, yo. Oh, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, yo. Real bog, the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, yo. And now in the nest there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattling bird, and And the bird and the nest and the nest and the limb and the branch and the branch and the tree and the hole and the hole and the bog and the bog. Down in the valley, oh, the rattling bog. Wait, dude, how? And in that egg there was a bird, a rare bird, a rattling bird, and a bird and the egg and the egg and the bird and the bird and the nest and the nest and the limb and the trim and the branch and the branch and the tree and the tree and the bog and the bog and the hole and the bog. Down in the valley, yo. That's an electric holiday song.
That's true. That is a good one in the right spots. Monster Mash.
That wasn't the right spot.
No, I'm talking whatever it was. I almost called it Irish Day. What the fuck is it?
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Monster Mash. Yeah, Halloween's got good songs. St. Patrick's Day.
Not a lot, though.
Christmas.
They've got Monster Mash. I guess the whole soundtrack from Nightmare Before Christmas, mostly.
They've got the Halloween theme song.
Yeah.
They've got Thriller. They've got Bad Moon Rising.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel
Werewolves
bad
of London.
Moon rising.
Werewolves of London. Werewolves
I mean,
of London.
there's a lot.
That's
yeah, the
pretty
Jack
good, actually.
Skellington song.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Jack Skellington.
My name is Jack Skellington.
Down in the valley.
Oh, the Jack Skellington down in the valley. Oh, there was a Jack, and in that Jack there was a skeleton, and in the bog and in the hole and down in the Jack Skellington. Oh, Hungry Like a Wolf. That's kind of.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm looking at.
So the only one that doesn't have any
This
songs.
Halloween playlist has. Witch A Woman.
Ooh, witch a woman. She got the moon in
The Great
her
Pumpkin Waltz.
eyes.
Oh, spooky, scary skeletons shiver down your
That's pretty good.
spine. Somebody's Watching Me. Ghostbusters.
Oh, Ghostbusters.
Superstitious.
From the 2003 Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion movie.
I Put a Spell on You. Dude, Halloween's got some bangers.
That is good.
Christmas, Halloween, St. Patrick's Day,
As far as songs go,
4th of July.
4th of July. I think
Best holiday songs, 4th of July.
it's probably Christmas, 4th of July, Halloween.
No. I will gladly
St. Patrick's
stand up
Day.
and argue this with you that 4th of July, now that I've thought about it, has the best holiday music.
No.
I mean, right there.
Name one.
God Bless the USA.
I'm not
Born
saying
in the USA. Made in America. There's a lot.
Born in the USA is an anti-U.S. song, but it still does hit for 4th of July. So
Born in the USA.
No,
I know what
it's-
you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
But Fortunate
Christmas-
Sons.
Also super anti-American
but-
song, but it is
Well,
great.
Well, no, it's anti war song,
Yeah, anti-Vietnam,
but it's about-
anti.
but it's about the regular American people.
It's about the average Joe going
Yeah.
over there fighting.
Some folks are born silver spoon in hand. Woo! Red, white, and blue.
And when the tax man comes to the door, what the hell look like Romance City? I mean, how do you come up with that?
And when it's hand to the chief.
Ooh, that boy can't let you, boy. I mean,
It ain't me. It ain't me.
I ain't no millionaire, so hold on. Yeah,
It ain't me.
they just don't write them like that.
It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son.
I wouldn't mind trying to write like a 70s rock tune.
Yeah.
But not right now.
Yeah.
I'm just saying at some point, but certainly not right now. But Christmas, you got the Snoopy Red Baron song we said. You got Silver Bells. You got Bruce Springsteen, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, obviously unbeatable. Step Into Christmas, Elton John. Even there's that one. Maybe that isn't a Christmas song. Never mind. But there's some sad Christmas songs that are still good. Christmas Shoes. Sir, I'd like to buy these shoes. Oh, my mom.
American Soldier.
Please.
That's another
That
4th
is
of July song.
American
Soldier, an American.
Is that Alan Jackson?
Providing for our future. I'll proudly take a stand when liberty's in jeopardy. I'll proudly do what's
There
right.
we go.
I'm out here on the front lines, sleep in peace tonight. American soldier.
What about that one?
I'm an American. No, Toby Keith. R.I.P.
Keith. What about that one what about that one Christmas song that's just that old man talking as if he were Santa Claus visiting a veteran or a soldier? You know that one?
No.
You never heard that one? It's just this old guy, and he's like, I stepped down into the chimney Christmas Eve night. There's a soldier sleeping on the floor.
Christmas
Too
in Hollywood by
too
Highway
tired
and
to
Dad.
fight.
You ever heard that one?
No.
It's good. It's inappropriate.
I'm sure it is.
It goes, the chorus is, it's Christmas in Hollywood, Santa's back up in the hood, so meet me under the mistletoe, let's fuck. It's Hanukkah in Englewood, the dreidel's spinning in the hood, so meet me by the menorah, let's get drunk. And then it goes into the song.
Okay.
And then it's a story, and here's a little story about last Christmas. And it's a Hollywood Undead song. It's not good.
I mean, it doesn't sound like the most creative tune in the world.
You gotta listen to it.
I feel like I just did listen to it enough. That's plenty.
Trying to think of what else. Dude, 4th of July has way better songs than Christmas. Like, the only Christmas song that gets you, like, fired up and ready to run through a wall is Bruce Springsteen. And also maybe the one with the whip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, let's go. Let's look at the snow. We're riding in winter wonderland.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking to run through a wall, I guess you've got a point. But if you're looking to just enjoy the season.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
I mean, listen.
Both ends of the ozone burning. Funny how the world keeps turning.
I mean, you're bringing up a lot of
football, hot dogs. God damn! I don't even know if those are the actual words.
I don't think so. But it's pretty good.
It might be the words.
You're bringing up a lot of good songs, but here's another difference. 4th of July. Most people, I'm not saying you do whatever you want, but especially because 4th of July is so early in the month. You're only listening to those 4th of July songs on 4th of July usually. Christmas songs, motherfuckers are already starting to listen to those, in fact, right now, and we're not even at Thanksgiving.
I was close. Funny. It's funny how the world keeps turning. Hot dog! Hot damn! I love this American ride. Gotta love this American ride.
That's pretty good.
Dude, 4th of July songs, bangers. I'm gonna look up a 4th of July playlist right now and see. 4th of July playlist.
You're a Grand Old Flag.
Banger.
Stars and Stripes Forever.
This 4th of July playlist has some funny songs. It's 5 o'clock somewhere on it.
It's pretty good.
It's got Uptown Girl. But then it goes bangers. Summertime, which is a song with the Yoo-Hoo, Born in the USA. Boot, Scoot, and Boogie by Brooks and Dunn, banger. Chattahoochee, banger. American Kids is such. You know the song American Kids by Kenny Chesney? You know that one?
No. I got American kids running outside while Chinese kids are making shoes trying to hide. But they can't because Kim Jong-un
it's like
is saved.
Double line, click, stop, midnight, tea shop, Jack in or Cherry Coke Town.
Oh,
Mama
yeah,
and Daddy
yeah.
put the boots right here because this is where the car broke down. Sister's got a boyfriend Daddy doesn't like. Now he's sitting out back there 30 on his lap with a blue club apple light. We were teenage dreaming, front seat leaning, born in the USA. Hey. Trailer wide truck stop, fade little map dock, New York to L.A. Something like that.
Okay, yeah, I do know that too.
Front seat leaning, baby, come give me a kiss.
That's pretty good.
Put me on the cover of a Rolling Stones 40/40 down home, American Kids.
So, John Krasinski, you're Jack Ryan.
Yes.
Voted sexiest man alive.
Dude, how about I was getting my hair cut this morning, and the mailman comes in to deliver the mail at the hair cutting facility,
Yeah.
and
The hair cutting
they
warehouse.
put the thing right down on the counter, and I look over at it, and right on top, People Magazine, John Krasinski, sexiest man.
alive. Yeah.
And I
Well,
almost said, like, not wrong, but I held it in. I pretended like I ignored it. I was like,
it's unignorable. I think he's pretty good. I mean, I do think it should have been Glenn Powell, obviously.
I don't know who the fuck Glenn Powell is.
Yes, you do, Matthew. We've talked about him so many times. He's the guy. He's Hitman from the movie Hitman, the Netflix one.
Oh, yeah, handsome devil. He'll have his time.
He will have his time.
He's
You're
coming
right.
up still.
You're right. Hangman and Maverick. He's smoking in that movie.
Yeah. I wish I had hair like that.
Yeah, we all do. I wish I had.
Like that I could just flop over and it was just perfect
Yeah.
baby curls.
See, that's some weird Aryan type kind of hair. We don't have that because we come from bog people. We come from rattling bog people, so we have
Yeah.
rattling bog hair
Yeah.
that just expands like
Yeah.
the blob and consumes
yeah.
everything in its path.
Yeah. It's like cutting steel wool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You get some good scrubbing with this
Yeah.
hair.
Mhm.
Okay, you got a dirty pan.
Yeah.
Let me get it.
Listen, if you ever see me in person, I wouldn't suggest giving me a noogie.
You
Yeah,
got
you'll
your-
have some brush burned knuckles trying to noogie this head of hair. Yeah. Steel wool looking ass. All right, want to do a hoot of the week?
Yes, and I will remember who it is in a second.
God damn it, Andy.
But now I'm wishing that we should have done Mr. Whammy for who would win.
Fuck.
I know.
I mean, Mr. Whammy versus Jake Paul. It would go all 8 rounds. He'd make $20 million,
But he'd never walk again.
It is
Hold on, I got it.
a bunch of chopped up hot dogs.
Oh, yes. It's him versus somebody else.
Eric Andre.
Oh, who we saw.
Yep.
The who would win of the week this week is Tim Robinson from I Think You Should Leave versus Eric Andre. Tim Robinson, here's the thing about Tim Robinson, because my initial thought is like Eric Andre, he does so many crazy things for his show and for his pranks, puts his body through it. Whatever it is, he's not going to back down. Excuse me. Tim Robinson has got a lot of anger behind him. If you watched him on Detroiters, if you watched closely some of those I Think You Should Leave sketches, a lot of them are based in anger. Even like the Corn Cob TV one with Coffin Fall, like that's, or Coffin Drop, whatever it is. Like that's hilarious, but he gets really angry in it. The real premise, the real point of that fake commercial is that he's yelling at the TV providers for not picking up Corn Cob TV.
All right.
I'm just saying. That's one of my examples.
I mean, two weird cats here.
Mm-hmm.
Weird cats. I like that you got a shot of you hammering the rest of your hot chocolate.
Oh shit! I meant to. Oops.
No, when you were talking, it was on me the whole
Are you
time.
kidding me? Why did you tell me?
Well, I thought maybe you were trying to get my reaction, which was just a big yawn. God damn it, Emily.
Sorry, I lost it.
You didn't know
That's
which one was
hilarious.
me and which one was
Sorry,
you.
folks.
Two weird cats.
Yeah. Meow.
I didn't like that. That's 3 weird cats. Throw you in the ring there.
Hey, I'm in good company then.
Yeah, I think most people would expect Eric Andre to win this fight because, like, Eric Andre is one of those, like, here's the perfect way to describe Eric Andre, I think, not being, like, a huge fan, like, not watching all of this stuff, is, like, you know the scene in I Love You, Man, where Jason Segel goes crazy on the guy who steps in his poop?
Yeah.
Like, that's who Eric Andre is. Like, he's just like, I'm just going to get, like, I'm just going to act like I'm crazy and nobody's going to fuck with me.
Right.
But I think Tim Robinson would still fuck with him because Tim Robinson would probably match like if Eric Andre started doing the I feel like Tim Robinson would get right back in his face.
Here's what I'll say if I may that your comparison with that scene in I Love You Man, Eric Andre to get in somebody's face like that. Yeah, he has that switch that he can flip himself to like pretend to be crazy so people won't mess with him. Tim Robinson, I think that craziness is a lot more genuine, and what he really does is like try to repress it, but it just comes out. So if we're going like a full-on screaming, angry match here, at the end of the day, I think Tim Robinson's going to come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, a guy with a hot dog obsession like that, I mean, he's built different.
I mean, a brother in arms, I can't vote against him.
Dude, I know. I don't mind. Listen, here's what I'll say. Like, to me, Eric Andre, it looks like he takes care of himself, though, somewhat.
Oh, yeah.
He's like a sports guy and stuff like that. Like, Tim Robinson.
Just making sure the camera's still on you.
Tim Robinson is not an athlete to me. No. I don't think he's ever picked up a ball or a racket or anything like that.
Maybe a racket, pickleball racket.
A bat, a stick.
He does look like a peeled potato that
he hasn't touched he hasn't done physical activity outside of like maybe acting it in a long time.
He loses weight by screaming.
Yeah.
That's his exercise.
Yeah. 50 hot dogs, 50 cheeseburgers, 50 chicken nuggets.
Tough to beat.
Yeah, all time. So I'm actually going to take Eric Andre here. I think that Tim Robinson will match is crazy, but I think in the actual fighting portion of it, like, here's the thing, though I will say is I think Tim Robinson could take some serious pain. Like, he's just a little off mentally, and I think like you could just be pounding his face in, and he would still be throwing wisecracks.
I think it would. I think you're right. It would take a lot for him to tap into. Like I do see him running head first into this fight, just full steam engine, but almost in the way like a little kid when they get really angry, and you can just kind of put your hand up and like stop him. So I see Eric Andre like getting into a headlock pretty easily, and then Tim Robinson fighting for like way too long. Yeah. And he's like, and then Tim's like, okay, I'll stop, and then he lets him get up, and he immediately goes back. Something like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that result is still going to be the same. You're right that Eric Andre will take it. So
I'm taking Eric Andre.
I think I'm going to go for him too. I think that argument kind of turned me around on it.
That's what I do, brother.
That's a fun one, though.
Lock that in on Instagram on Friday. Who would win of the week? Tim Robinson versus Eric Andre. One of these days when we record earlier, we're going to do that, and then, like, somebody's going to, like, die or, like, get arrested before the episode comes out. We're going to have to come on and do a little mea culpa. Sorry, guys. We didn't know.
That's all right.
Oh, Andy. Saturday morning, rain is falling. It's about 10,000 fucking degrees in this room.
It's really hot.
So we appreciate
There's
you
water
all.
all over the place.
Yeah, we're about to drown. You guys can't see because the camera's here, but the water's just below my waistline right now.
It's coming up. It's nearly touching my
it's raised about 6
inches. I actually might
sit
sit here a little bit longer just in case. But can we talk just a little bit more? Because I do want to say.
What do you got?
Just about getting to go to New York. Was the coolest thing ever. Getting to see my Brooklyn Nets again play live.
Yeah.
The kids sitting behind us, who were huge Celtic fans,
Easy way.
They were. I loved it because they were so into the game. I do think they could have been funnier. They weren't cracking too many jokes, but they were very focused on the game, so that's good. I also do think, though, because they were there with their dad, as funny as those kids are, I do think that when they grow up, they're going to be a problem because they kept talking about parlays.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is
and
like,
they were like
7 or 8 years
week,
old. Where it was like younger gambling addicts. These kids are the poster children for that.
Yeah, I appreciated that. I was like, I wanted to know what action they had.
Really
I was going to turn around and ask them, like, hey, what are you guys on? Let me get a sniff.
I mean, I know I was never like a sports guy growing up, but like, I had no idea what a line was or what an over/under even meant when I was like that age.
Yeah, neither did I.
And they're like, if Tatum gets over this many, then their dad's gonna win $5,000 or something like that.
No, they were definitely. Maybe they don't live in Boston, but their father is definitely from Boston, and he's raising his children to be people from Boston. Because I agree, like, I didn't mind it, but they were, like, loud and obnoxious. And, like, Jaylen Brown would be, like, in the corner, and their dad would be like, yell at Jaylen, like, get his attention in, like, the middle of a game. And even the kids were like, he's not going to hear us. But he'd be like, no, try. And they'd, like, be like, all right, stand up. And they'd just start screaming their heads off. Yeah.
That would be a fun house to just watch them. It'd be fun to live across the street from those people and see how many times the cops
like
get
80%.
called.
I was gonna say 80% of the time they love their dad, but the other 20% of the time when he has one too many natty lights, he beats the shit out of those kids.
Fighting.
Yeah, and their mother, if their mother still lives with them.
Not a chance.
Yeah.
Not even close. It was fun to be back though, getting to watch real basketball. I did tone things down a little bit because there were kids right behind us, but I still at one point, I don't know if you saw this, but the people sitting next to me were Celtics fans, and the woman especially, and I don't know what, there was just a point in the game where I was not agreeing with what the Nets were doing.
Putting out there with the products.
And I might have shown it a little too much, and she did put her hand on my chest and say, "Are you okay, buddy?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yes, I'm so sorry. I'll keep it in from now on." But obviously, got to see my biological father, Mr. Whammy, which was great. I'm glad to see they're still treating him right. He gets to sit courtside during warm-ups. He's still in his spot, running down, and the Whammy was flying, baby. Okay, you and Evan, there were points where you were not believing in the Whammy, but for folks like myself.
Dude, Mr. Whammy is crazy. Here's what I'll say. Like, I still haven't wrapped my head around the whole Mr. Whammy concept yet.
What do you mean?
Because it just, like, he's the only super fan that the NBA is just like, yeah, you don't have to follow the rules. Like, there's no way you're allowed to do what he does. Like, I've heard of Mr. Whammy. Obviously, Andrew's told me about Mr. Whammy. Like, I know he does the whammy. He tries to get in people's heads during free throws. For people who aren't, like, watching Nets games, he gets out of his seat and walks up and stands right, like, essentially under the hoop.
Yep. Right next to the basket. Under
And,
the hoop.
like, fucking yells at the guys.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't think you can do that.
He's not going on the court or anything.
I mean, damn near.
Yeah, but he's not.
Yeah. But, like, he's closer than the people sitting courtside.
Yeah. But he's still not going on the floor.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I thought he did it from his seat, and I watched him get up and just walk freely right onto the court. Like, his feet are on wood.
But not the court. He's not on the court.
But he's on the wood.
Yeah, he's on wood for sure. Mr. Whammy always stands on wood, especially since Mrs. Whammy passed. R.I.P. She was a lovely woman. When I met him way back when, she was like his manager, basically. She had to, like, because a bunch of people, a handful, lined up to, like, get pictures with him, and she was in charge of, like, corralling them and, like, also making sure they were getting everybody through the line. Because Mr. Whammy's such a nice guy. He'll talk to you.
You got a picture with the Whamster.
I know, and I wish I had gotten one this time around. It would have been really cool to take another picture, like, 10 years later or whatever with him still being around. But I was just too nervous, I think, to walk over there and find him and bother him for a picture. I know, but I don't know. I was just too nervous to do it. But he's the man, and the Whammy works. It was working. He was like, I'm in your head now. That was funny seeing him do that.
Yeah.
But Mr. Whammy. And, you know, it's good to see, because the problem with being a Nets fan, and we saw it pretty much firsthand when we went, because at least, I would say, half the stadium was Celtics fans. At least. Like, there was an MVP chant for Jason Tatum that was super loud. When the Celtics won that game, people were going crazy. Like, there's such a small number of actual Brooklyn Nets fans. And I think that for a couple reasons, you know, there's stuff like just the history of the, you know, they seem to position themselves first and foremost as a brand, than a, like, sports team that's committed to playing well and doing something for their fans, which is fine. I get that. And some cool stuff has happened because of it, like way back in the day with KG and Paul Pierce and stuff, and then even more recently with Kyrie and Kevin Durant coming on the team. But of course,
James Harden.
And James Harden. But of course, the problem is when they get those guys, like nothing happens and things are still awful. But that's the cross we bear.
That's showbiz, baby.
That's showbiz. That's the way it goes. But I like the team now. Actually, I like a lot. Dennis Schroeder's the man. I'm glad Bojan is back. Home where he belongs. Spot. Yeah, bald spot. Bojan Bogdanovic. If he had played, we would have won. We would have won that game by at least 15.
Bojan, bald spot, Big Dogovich.
Big Dogovich. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's it. We get out of here.
I love you.
I love you too. Thanks, folks.